Hello, my name's Vincent Baidu and I'm the creator of South Blessed. If you don't know what South Blessed is, click on the link below, go to the Kickstarter, there's a nice short 2.5 minute roundup of what that is. But basically, I'm talking about the YouTube part today, and this video is going to be my 5 favourite videos that are on South Blessed. So on this channel, I'm going to be doing loads of different videos. On South Blessed, there were loads of different types of videos. It was actually the second channel that I started up, this one being the third, and there are just some videos that I love on there. So in at number 5 we have the Stokescroft riots. Now this whole situation was just insane for me. On one level, there was the fact that I'd been getting trained by a guy for about 3 or 4 weeks who was one of the original photojournalists for riots. He was part of a company called Undercurrents Media, which is one of the first independent media platforms going globally. They've been doing stuff since 1999. So there was the fact that I was getting trained beforehand to film riots, and the other aspect is just the fact that it happened. Now to put that into context, there was no Occupy movement at this stage. There was no Greek riots, there was no Spanish riots, there was no Middle Eastern riots, there was no Chinese riots, and I'm talking about what was being portrayed in the media and the media on the internet at that point. In terms of where it was at that moment, the last riots that were kind of in my mind frame were the ones that happened in Paris. So when I was in secondary school, I remember at some point there were riots that happened in Paris. Apart from that, our generation hadn't really done it yet. So at this stage, to see it pop off in Bristol first, and to be there and to be able to feel it and see it and document it and be a part of it, I'm not gonna lie, at the time it felt amazing. It was just one of those natural highs in the middle of it, feeling everything's gonna change after that. And to give it credit, I filmed a lot of riots after that happened, and none of them felt like that. Everything was a little bit too thought out, but not thought out enough, if that makes any sense. Also, the impact that happened afterwards, South Blessed was always meant to be, transmedial and coming with multi-genres, and it was only after filming the Stokescroft riots everybody kind of remembered that South Blessed wasn't just about music. And the fact is, the only riot that I've seen where police actually had to leave. At a certain point, police were getting kettled in, they couldn't leave. It took members of the public to tell everybody else, alright, just make a gap so they can go, and then they left. So that's another thing that I've never seen apart from at that stage. So yeah, at number 5 we had the Stokescroft riots. At number 4 is Kalashnikov Clear My Throat. Now, going to parties when I was in secondary school all the way back to year 7, you could be in a house in St Paul's, Easton, Bishopston, Redland, Clifton, Montpellier, Bedminster. It didn't matter where you were, you could put on It's Murder and everybody singing along. It was just that simple. It was one of those tunes. Kalashnikov was one of those artists. So to be able to make a music video with him in the first place was just one of those kind of projections, manifestations yep, this is sick. But then also, the reason why I rated this video is just because there was a concept behind it, and there was some subliminal boundaries that were getting pushed as well. It was made to kind of stand out. So it was nice to be part of a video that actually had some proper thought go into it beforehand. We did have to film on multiple days, and they were long days, but in the end what got produced is one of the music videos that I am very, very happy with. So at number 4 is Kalashnikov Clear My Throat freestyle. At number 3 is Training. Now the reason why I love Training so much is there's a lot of videos on South Blessed, but this is one of the few that really reflects the inside of my head. And what I mean by that is, everybody thinks differently, everyone's got their own unique perspective, and quite a lot of what South Blessed is about is giving other people a voice. But this is one of the videos that reflects my voice, reflects what goes on in my head. So it was a little short film that I made with an actor called Amari Curry that I'd worked with on previous things. And yeah, it's just a mix of timing, fight sequences to dubstep, the kind of epic mangery feel about it. I just like it. I seen something in my head, and this is one of the few times where it was actually executed how I wanted it to. So yeah, training. At number 2, we have the South Blessed anthem. So literally one day I was in the South Blessed studio. I had to stay up, basically I had to keep awake for a while, so I was there with a couple of mates, and he put on a track. He put on Taylor Gang like it was some little secret pleasure that he had, and it was only because we were waved that he put it on. And you know, I wasn't sober at the time, and the first thing that popped into my head when I heard the chorus was a South Blessed version of it. And at that point I knew I wanted to get, you know, the best people from the best crews in Bristol and put them onto one track. Now, it actually ended up taking about 15-16 months to get all of the vocals, and once I had the vocals, it was a good 4, 5, 6 months before the video could get made. So it was an epic time getting it sorted. But again, it's just one of those things where I like it when there's a vision that comes into my head, and no matter how long it takes, when it actually gets executed at the end. So shout out to everybody who's on the track, shout out to everybody who cameoed in the video. And yeah, number 2, we've got the South Blessed anthem. And at number 1, we have Nintendo, manga and dubstep. Now, like I said with training, the thing about this video is it's the most accurate representation of what it's like to be inside of my head. Now, I do love pixel art, I'm all about that, but it's not even so much that aspect. Just to explain what the video is, I didn't do the animation. The animation is done by an artist called Alvin Earthworm, and I found it on Newgrounds. And basically what I did is I re-edited the video so that it timed perfectly with tunes that I liked at the time. So in terms of when I first thought about doing something like this, one of my friends, Dan, who owns Peng Sound, he gave me a 16-bit mix, and in there was a particular bit that just made me think about these kind of cartoon things animating to dubstep in a fight scene. And me personally, this animation from Alvin Earthworm, which is called Super Mario Bros. Z, is one of the best pixel animations that I've seen in terms of, you know, how he uses depth of field and all these little tricks that, you know, on these really lo-fi pixel art, I think it just looks good. So timing it with the music, essentially, you know, just bringing some extra drama with the audio and the edits alongside of it. For me, it's just one of those kind of like, okay, I'm going to come back to this at some point. I'm going to be able to do something in the future which is going to be the add-on to this, where it's going to be original art, or, you know, I've got things in the making, but because it's going to take a long time to get to certain places, this is just that benchmark for me to say, well, at least I've got it out of me in some way or form. So, you know, Indigo babies, go and get the comic now, go on to the Kickstarter, because that is very much about more of that, me being able to get my story out there in my own kind of way of picturing and using visuals and audio to blend into, just to blend into a piece of art, you know. So subscribe to the channel, there's going to be more videos to come, more updates to come. Click on the links that is in the description. I'll put the links to all of the videos, and thanks for watching.